In many of my past live edge woodworking videos, I demonstrate how you can level out an uneven piece of wood, sometimes a very large piece of wood, with a routing sled as one of the first steps to getting it ready for a project. Now, if you happen to have access to a very large planer, or you don't mind coughing up a pretty big chunk of cash to have a professional lumber mill operation level and smooth out a large slab of wood for you, then you have nothing to worry about. However, if neither of those are an option for you, then using a router sled, and a large planing bit is the way to go. In this video, I'll share with you a fast, fairly inexpensive way to make a sturdy, adjustable routing sled that you can use for all of your future projects for years to come. When I first got into live edge woodworking, I made a router sled out of some scrap lumber that I had laying around the garage, as a sled doesn't have to be anything too terribly fancy. After all, a routing sled is simply an adjustable, sturdy rail that secures and guides your router as it slides back and forth over a piece of wood. While my first couple of router sled designs worked fine, they were a little bulky, and they also began to slightly warp over time, which resulted in a not-so-smooth or even finish on the wood that I was trying to level. Recently, I decided to build a new and improved router sled for some very large upcoming projects. I wanted this one to be stronger, lighter, and easier to set up and adjust. Now, there's really only a few simple components to this design, which are 2 pieces of aluminum angle bar, a couple blocks of wood, and some screws. To put the sled together, I simply drilled 2 holes in each end of my aluminum angle bars, filed down the rough edges, and attached the bars to a couple pieces of 2x4s while leaving about 1/8 of an inch of room for the base of the router on each end. Now, most of the wood that I level out with a router sled, I plane down to around 1 to 1 3/4 inches thick. So using sections of 2x4s as the bases for the sled works fine for most occasions. But if I'm leveling a larger slab of wood that I want to be significantly thicker than 1 3/4 inches, then I simply attach the rails to thicker bases, such as 3x4 or 4x4 blocks of wood. So after the sled is all put together and set up at the proper height, I usually secure the wood that I'm working on with some wood clamps or a big heavy weight of one kind or another, as you can see here. And after that, I start routing away with a large 2 to 3 inch planing bit, which makes the job go quite quickly. As a word of caution, if you've never used a router or a router sled before, it's important to be very careful. Take your time, go slow, and always be aware of where your fingers are. Also, be sure to use the proper eye and ear protection, a dust mask, and be prepared to clean up an enormous mess of wood shavings afterwards. So there you have it. I hope this video was helpful, and if you'd like to see lots more like it, be sure to subscribe to this channel. And check out the 3 Minutes Outdoors website at 3minutesoutdoors.com. And finally, if you'd like to support this channel, click on the link in the video description below to find out more.